Okay. Okay. Hang on. I still have to get over the fact that you've never seen Elf.
Annyeonghaseyo, welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, three American romance novelists discussing all things K-romance from a writer's lens. We fangirl over our favorite actors and actresses, talk up our trope addictions, and nerd out on K-drama deep dives. We'll throw in a few K-pop and K-skincare recs for good measure, because why not ride the Hallyu wave all the way to shore? So grab some tteokbokki and listen to your new favorite unnies.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi there.
So, I had something that I was thinking about, and, and Amy, I'm especially interested in you weighing in on this because you love movies.
I do.
And you love, you just know everything about all movies.
I don't love knowing about movies. I just know about movies. I don't actively try to know about movies.
Because today I have two kids who are homesick. And they were like, I want to watch Christmas movies with you, Mom. And I was like, okay. So I sat down and I opened up the thing and I was flicking through. And I had a dawning awareness that I don't like Christmas movies. I was like, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't ever want to see this one. No to this. No, no, no. And I just kept clicking. And I was like, oh my God, do I just not like any Christmas movies? And I ended up being like, I don't like any of these. So I picked Elf. With Will Ferrell. Okay, so I started watching it, and I have to say that I started watching it thinking, it sucks. I didn't realize I don't like Christmas movies. So I did a full...
You've never seen this movie. You've never seen Elf. Let's start there. You've never seen Elf.
I have not seen Elf. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't realize I was a Christmas movie hater. Now I'm watching this Christmas movie. And then I got emotional and started crying watching Elf. And apparently I went from this I don't like Christmas movies to I think I like Christmas movies. I guess I like this movie enough to I was crying. And so it was one of these things where I'm it was my office romance or whatever, very consolidated down into an hour and a half where I'm ugh, I don't even like Christmas movies too. Oh God. But now I'm not sure. Maybe it was just that movie because as soon as I was done, I'm oh, I don't want to watch any other one.
Okay. Hang on. I still have to get over the fact that you've never seen Elf because I saw this movie in the theater and I've watched it every year since.
So this was my question. Do you watch Christmas movies just cuz? You watch all movies?
What do you mean? Do I have to cut Christmas movies out of my life because I'm Jewish? I don't know what the question is.
Do you watch them? Do you watch them?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I love Will Ferrell, which is why I saw Elf to begin with. Mm-hmm. But I love the holiday season. I definitely get I'm not a big decorator or anything like that, but I just love the feel of the holiday season. I love that I'm somewhere where it snows because it looks pretty. I don't want to play in the snow. I'm not outside making snow angels, but I just love the feel. I even asked my kids because we were just in Florida for Thanksgiving, and they've got lights on all the palm trees and stuff like that. Uh-huh. And I said it was when so I live in the Chicago suburbs, but I live in a town that's small town USA within the Chicago suburbs. And we had it was called Miracle on Main Street on Saturday. And the mayor came out, there's a tree lighting ceremony, and my daughter's high school a cappella group sang, and, they did Christmas songs and Hanukkah songs, and then Santa pulls up in the fire truck and gets out of the fire truck, and they push a big button and they light the big tree. There were 2 reindeer that were there. I mean, it's a whole thing. So I said to my son, because he's freezing because of course he's 13 years old and he never wears enough to be warm outside. He wouldn't wear a coat if I didn't make him. And I said, would you rather the holidays be like this, where I've got a scarf on and my hat and we're drinking hot chocolate and coffee and stuff? And would you rather it be like this, or would you rather it be, was in Florida? And he's like, no, like this. It's just a feel of it. And so I have that feel. And so, yes.
As someone who lives in a winter snowy state, I agree. I want it to be snowy. Winter season to me is freaking cold. Like,
Yep.
you have to get your hot chocolate at some, like, roadside stand, and it has to be steaming because it's so freaking cold outside. You can't feel your toes. That is the holiday season to me, and I don't think I could spend it anywhere else.
Yeah. And as far as the movies go, I don't.
This is like Stockholm. I just want to say this is like
I know.
Stockholm syndrome that you both have, because I grew up in the snow. I know what a snowy, cold winter is like. I do think that Christmas lights on snow is very pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am fine like I am now. Put the Christmas lights on the palm trees for me.
It just, it doesn't look like Christmas to me. But anyway, so, I do like Christmas movies, but I don't love every Christmas movie, without without any reason. Like, there's just movies that I like. Like, I don't like Love Actually. I consider that a Christmas movie. I like that. Like, I like some Christmas romances, like The Holiday with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and
so I saw that one today. Do you recommend it?
Oh, it's so good. It's like Jack Black is like your green flag romantic hero. Like he is.
Okay.
He is. I saw somebody talking about it on TikTok the other day of like his character in that movie is the exact definition of the female gaze. So watch it.
Okay, maybe because I haven't seen that either.
Jack Black. Jack Black. I love this movie.
I mean, I do love Jack Black. I can't say
too.
like I'm like
his character is
for Jack-
adorable. It's very unexpected. It's very unexpected. But like I don't like I'm gonna alienate myself big time like this. I don't like A Christmas Story. I've never.
You know what? I've never seen A Christmas Story.
I don't like it.
That. Yeah, I mean, I've watched it now a lot, and I'd say that I'm like burned out.
Like as a kid, I was like, it doesn't really do much for me. Like, no, but like I love Elf. I love Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I was going to say, like, I watch that every year.
Die Hard. I should watch Die Hard.
Oh, it's so freaking good. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just so good.
I mean,
super
fun. It's ridiculous, but it's super fun. Yeah.
Ludicrous.
Okay.
Absolutely ludicrous. The final showdown is brilliant. I love everything about it.
Okay.
He walks on glass and bare feet.
Yeah, it's like classic. It's classic Bruce Willis when he still had hair, and like in his like peak action hero phase, and it's fantastic.
It's like it's just him against all.
Well, wait, do you like Home Alone movies?
Yeah, I like Home Alone.
See, I
like
love Home Alone.
Only the first Culkin one.
Only the first
one and two. One and two.
And do you like the Santa Claus?
I haven't watched any other Home Alones.
The Santa Claus is coming back.
Yeah, the Santa Claus is good.
No, I hate Tim Allen. Or, I mean, I don't like Tim Allen.
Oh, okay. Well, if you hate Tim Allen, you're going to hate
Michigander.
Ugh, my kids like it. They've been watching it with my husband. I think they watched, like, I don't know, as many as there are. They're like 3. I don't like Tim Allen. I'm sorry.
Polar Express? I like Polar.
No.
Polar Express all the time?
I refuse to watch that. The book was better.
What else?
I mean, I always watched the animated ones when I was a kid. Like, I always watched Rudolph. I mean, I loved that. I loved it so much.
When I was little, Rudolph, I did.
So I put on Rudolph today, and my problem with Rudolph, and I mean, I've ruined it for my children, is I put it up. My daughter was like, I want to watch Rudolph. And I'm like, you can put on Rudolph. Just know it's very sexist.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so she was like, well, and then she started watching and she's like, I don't think that I'm seeing it. I'm like, you just watch and like no judgment. You just watch and see if you pick up. And then I like came by like 10 minutes later and it was turned off and she's like, fine, it is sexist. And I was like, I mean, you can still watch it. I'm not trying to like take away the elf does want to be a dentist. It's cute.
I mean, we've talked about like Love Actually is a hot fucking mess, but I love it anyway. Like, I love it anyway.
What's interesting is when I was a kid, so that was before like TVR and streaming and stuff, obviously. And The Wizard of Oz was always replayed right around the holidays.
Yeah.
And I remember
it was on when we were in Florida, it was on.
Yeah, and I remember like sitting down like when it was airing and watching it, with the commercials and everything. So to me, Wizard of Oz is almost like a Christmas movie because that's always when I rewatched it, even though it's obviously not.
So speaking of Will Ferrell, on the plane to Florida, Sydney and I watched Spirited, which is the new Apple Plus movie with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, which is It is a musical. It is a musical comedy version of A Christmas Carol.
I've never heard of this.
It just came out. It like
Well, I know, but I
came out.
I didn't hear a single word about it. That's crazy.
Well, you got to follow Ryan Reynolds on social media, and then you will. It's super cute. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I do. I like Christmas movies, but I'm selective about which ones I like.
Okay. Well,
I'm glad you liked Elf. It made me cry too.
Oh, I love Elf. I like that's one that I will watch.
I still don't
every
even think it was
year.
good. It just like got me in like my emotions, and I still like when I finished it, I'm like, that wasn't a very good movie, but like I still was like, like.
It's just if you enjoyed it, it's a good movie, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I know.
It doesn't have to be like mind-blowing writing.
Yeah, trust me. If you watch Die Hard, don't expect like, look, it's just a classic like the man's got to save a woman, and he does it by walking through glass barefoot and shirtless, and it's fantastic. It's like the ultimate
and Alan Rickman is the bad guy.
Yeah, and
Alan Rickman is hot. I love
as Hans Gruber.
Yeah,
you know that's when like all Germans were just like the bad guy.
Oh yeah,
know?
Okay.
God, I just need to preface this for anyone listening. If I laugh throughout this podcast and I sound like I have a smoker's cough, nothing wrong with you if you have a smoker's cough. I just don't. It's I do have COVID. So
the second one down. The second one down. The second
last
one down.
podcast we talked about how like I just got over a fever. It was COVID. So
and the only reason she knows it is because I was like, Megan, take a fucking test.
Yeah, Amy's like, because I was like, now it's a cold, and Amy's like,
no, you're like, I totally have a sinus infection now. I'm like, do you?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't. It's COVID. It's the vid.
And
so
she's like, I'm sick. I want a podcast. I'm like, but do you want a podcast when you're sick? Like, we can take a break. And then she's like, no. And then the next day she's like, okay, fine. I found out I had COVID, so I podcasted.
I was like,
through
okay,
COVID.
So anyway, I still have just like a lingering like cold. You can probably hear it in my voice, and a cough. So I'm sorry, but because I just laughed there and it sounded like, you know, a raspy.
You sounded like Marge Simpson's sisters.
Yeah, I kind of did. So
Patty and Selma.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Stop. What is
voiced by Julie Kavanaugh?
I was just gonna say she's gonna tell us who they're voiced by. I knew it.
Just stop. I don't even know who.
Well, Julie Kavanaugh voices Marge and her sisters. She does all three.
And just so you know, so Leah, your homework just is to watch Die Hard before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
And just the first one. You don't have to watch anymore. There's a bunch of Die Hards. But just watch the first one because it's classic. It's a classic. There's Christmas trees in it.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's Christmas Eve.
Does Santa come at the end?
Yes. Santa saves John McClane.
Does everyone start singing like you better watch out, you better not cry, and then the Santa Claus meter of Christmas spirit makes the sled fly because that's what happens in Elf. Spoiler.
You're dissing Elf. Like I love how she's like having to explain it as if everybody else listening to this podcast hasn't seen Elf. Like the movie's like 20 years old.
Is it really
that old?
I think it came out in 2003.
I'm looking.
Maybe even sooner.
Oh my God, you're right. It came out in 2003? It's 20 years old?
Oh God, I thought it came out like 2 years ago. It was like,
yeah, it's like I thought it came out maybe 10 years ago. Maybe. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good segue. January 1st, 2022 feels like a long time ago.
I know. I still feel like I lost 2 years with COVID and everything. Like I'm still getting used to that we're almost in 2023.
And I feel like I lost, the beginning of 2022 because we started 2022 by watching The Silent Sea. I was watching The Silent Sea on New Year's Eve into New
and we were
Year's
so
Day.
Excited to do it. We were so excited to do it.
So yeah, here we are.
Here we are. So time travel has popped up in my life twice in the past 2 weeks. First, I finally got my teenage kids to watch Back to the Future with me over the Thanksgiving holiday. And like, this is one of those things where I've been like, will you please just, like, they love Ferris Bueller. Like, there's some 80s movies that they love, but, like, for some reason, whenever they looked at, like, a trailer, like, if you try and look at a movie trailer for Back to the Future, it looks like it was made in the 1980s, because it was. Like, it's not high-tech trailers. They're like, no, it looks old. So long story short is, like, we could not agree on anything, and my mom was like, why don't we watch Back to the Future? Because we were scrolling through and saw it. I'm like, yes, we are watching Back to the Future. Okay? And guess what? They loved it. And it was a fun, like, sort of mother-daughter moment, because my daughter loves the actress Zoe Deutsch, as do I. And I got to show her Leah Thompson, who is Zoe Deutsch's mama, who was all that in my teen years. But I digress. The other day, I was listening to another podcast that I love, other than ours, which is Armchair Expert. And they had Neil deGrasse Tyson on, the, famous astrophysicist. I love him. He's super cool. And they were talking about the universe and physics and space-time, and Back to the Future became part of the conversation. And Neil deGrasse Tyson mentioned the same Easter egg that my daughter mentioned about the movie that I never noticed before in all the times I've seen this movie since I was like 10. So first and foremost, now I feel like I need to ask this before I go any further. Have you both seen Back to the Future?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's been a long time, though.
Okay.
I have not rewatched
a long
It's been a long time for me, too.
I promise I've seen all of them.
And I think that my daughter knew this from, like, social media, because she knew it before we saw the movie, and then she brought it up at the end. So, of course, when Marty goes back in time, he changes a lot of things in the future, like, which is his actual present. But one change is super subtle and never outwardly mentioned, yet it's right there when Marty returns to good old 1985. Stay with me, because this is going to connect to today's show. But first, Leah and Megan, do you know the change that I'm referring to? It happens at the location where Marty leaves 1985 and enters 1955 and then returns to 1985 again. And I put in here, because I wrote the script for tonight, no cheating, don't look this up. So I hope that neither of you looked this up.
No, I read this question and I was like, this was the most Amy question I've ever read in my life.
It came up twice. Like, something in the universe is telling me to ask this question. Like, it came up twice in my life in the past 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm ready to have it change my life, because I barely.
I have no idea.
It's not going to change your life, but it's something that, like, I never noticed, and I saw the movie a bunch of times when I was a kid. So, the place where Marty gets in the DeLorean, when Dr. Emmett Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, shows him the DeLorean time machine. It's called Twin Pines Mall. Okay, it's the name of the mall. Okay. So Marty gets in the DeLorean, travels back to 1955. And the DeLorean crashes into a pine tree on Twin Pines. It's like Twin Pines, like it's like a pine tree forest before it became a mall. When he goes back to 1985, there's just a sign that says Lone Pine Mall.
Because he took out all the other pines?
Because he took out the one. It was called Twin Pines, and he knocked one of them down.
Oh my gosh,
30
that's so
years
funny.
ago.
Nope,
so I
never knew that.
So my daughter brought it up, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson brought it up.
I'm underwhelmed.
Whatever. I didn't say it was going to change.
I love it.
I just thought it was cool that it came up twice. Okay?
I want to know how you're bringing this up to whatever we're talking about, because at this point I feel like you're just going to talk about vacuums.
Vacuums do not come up at all tonight. But since you brought it up, no, I'm kidding. So why is it fitting that time travel has entered my universe twice in the past 2 weeks? Because we are going to be embarking on a blast to the past as we travel back through 2022, a year in the life of Afternoona Delight, a retrospective.
Oh, look what you did here.
So cue up Huey Lewis and the News on your Back to the Future LP, which I actually have in my basement right now, as we go, quote unquote, in time. And I'm sure neither of you remember that is the song from Back to the Future. And Huey Lewis has a cameo in Back to the Future as well.
I think I knew about the cameo, but I'm not sure if I really knew the song.
I just remember Michael J. Fox being like, don't worry, your kids are going to love this music.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's performing a Huey Lewis song, and Huey Lewis makes him stop, and he's like, it's too loud.
Okay.
Yeah. So there, you remember, that was good. Okay, so as of right now, we've covered 21 dramas on the pod this year. Of course, we've watched far more between the three of us, but these are the dramas that made the cut for the pod in 2022, which means they were dramas that all three of us watched or that we did in pairs when one of us was away or with a guest host. In fact, I think we should recognize like some of our guests that we've had on the show, like Sarah CJ from K-Drama, known as K-Drama This on social media. We also had on author Piper Drake. Leo, you've done a couple things with some other people, haven't you? For our pod?
I did a pod with Allison, so that's just not out yet. So that was why I wasn't mentioning it, but it will be out by the time you listen to this. So yes.
Yeah.
And let's see.
And Allison's part of our sister pod.
Afternoona Army. I did do some BTS pods this year. And then we did do Extraordinary Attorney Woo. And we'll talk about that in a little while, where we had some Own Voices rep with some folks that we'll give shout outs to a little bit later in the pod.
Yes. And you both have also had your daughters on the pod as well.
This year? Was it this year?
For me, it was the beginning of this year because I went
for
to
you.
ATs
It was,
in January.
yeah. For you, it was Megan.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know if Bronte was, but Hazel was.
Yeah, I think Bronte might have been 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, goodbye, Bronte. You don't get a mention.
Actually,
I'm just kidding.
She might have actually. I can't remember. Actually, I really like. Now I'm like, did I have a year? Where have I been? Like, it's the Silent Sea.
I know that's how it feels.
I drank the lunar water and can't remember anything.
So speaking of lunar water, here is the list, which is not only helpful for us to remember what we covered this year, but also, all our 2022 dramas in case, you might have missed one, or, missed us lose our shit over The Silent Sea and Mr. Sunshine in two very different ways. So I thought we could go through the list and each take a column here and share what we've done on the pod this year.
In order.
Yes.
Okay, I can go
first.
These
are in order from our spreadsheet.
Right. So we covered The Silent Sea, My Name, Mad for Each Other, Reply 1988, Our Beloved Sunshine. Oops.
What?
Our Beloved Summer, Mr. Sunshine, and Business Proposal.
And then number 8, Lucky 8, was Semantic Error. Then The Sound of Magic. Then My Mister, Prison Playbook, 2521, Kin Porsche, and Tomorrow.
And then rounding it out with Pachinko, Itaewon Class, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Cafe Minamdong, All of Us Are Dead, If You Wish Upon Me, and Little Women. So, of these 21 dramas watched in 2022, which was your favorite and why? And you may only talk about one drama.
So I like the parameters that you put on. It was very much a callback to what I like to do. So I have an answer, but I struggled with this one because the one I'm going to say was my favorite, I didn't watch in 2022.
Oh.
But we talked about it in 2022.
So, okay. So, I want to give you a pass and say that you can mention this because it's your favorite drama of all time, right?
Yes.
Isn't it? So,
okay.
But then I'll let you pick a second, like which is your favorite that you watched this year as well.
Okay, that's good. So, okay, my favorite one that we did this year, which I gave wags of the finger on, was Mr. Sunshine because I waited, I think a year and a quarter before the two of you watched it. So I was really happy to do it this year. I picked it because it is my favorite. But I had already seen it in 2021 and then I watched it again in 2022 just for the pod. So out of all of these here, now this is exciting because I get to pick on the fly.
Yeah.
What my favorite was. Whoo, dogs. I'm just going to go. I like going with a gut thing here. And I'm going to pick one that might feel surprising. And I'm going to say Semantic Error. I love Semantic Error.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
It's an enemies to lovers. We all enjoyed it. It's a Korean BL, and I just felt as if it was perfectly cast It had everything I love about an enemies to lovers story. And the entire time I watched it, I was just like delighted. And you can't ask for more than that from a K-drama.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was obviously hard because Amy in capital letters said I can only talk about one. And I'm going to follow the rules. So, basically, I thought it's hard because there are so many dramas that like I super enjoyed. Like that's why this is really hard. It was a good year. But I picked the drama that has stuck with me the longest and what I continually thought about all year, to the point that finally, like towards the end of the year, I was like, Amy and Leah, we got to cover this drama because it stuck with me throughout the whole year, and that's All of Us Are Dead.
Such a good one.
And I think there's multiple reasons. I wouldn't say it's like, I don't even know if I would say it's the best drama of the year in any way, but for me, it's the one that stuck with me. It has so much of what I love, which is like the zombies with the heart. The acting was incredible. I loved the world building that was done. And I think about it a lot. Like, I really, truly think about that drama a lot. I think about those characters a lot. Like, I actually think to myself, I wonder what they're doing now. Like, in a way, like, to me, they were so real, and the drama did that in, like, 12 episodes for me. Mm. And that's so, yeah, I think that's the one that gave me lasting impression. I would say it was really hard because Mr. Sunshine was up there, but...
Yeah, and by no means are we saying these are the best dramas of 2022. It's just out of our list, which one will we pick as our number one?
Right.
Because I absolutely agree with both of you. I mean, as far as like All of Us Are Dead, like sticking with me, like I was just talking to my son about it the other day because something made me think of season 2, and I'm like, you're gonna watch it with me, right? Like I'm just so excited for it. But for me, I picked Itaewon Class, and that was one that really snuck up on me as far as how much I loved it. And I was worried for 2 different reasons, because it wasn't your favorite, Megan, which is totally fine. Like, you liked it good enough, but it wasn't your favorite drama. And then Leah started watching it, and she's texting me and she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. This is one of the best things I've ever watched. I need you to like tell me if I'm crazy. And so I've got like kind of both things going here where like Megan was kind of meh on it. Leah loves it. And I'm afraid to have any sort of expectations for it. And then I started watching it. I mean, like, Park Seo-joon, like, you're already like starting at a high bar when you've got Park Seo-joon. But yeah, that was one drama that really stuck with me, like that I couldn't stop thinking about when I was done. I had a drama hangover from it, which is, I think I had been really, really needing that. Like, I hadn't had it in a long time. You know, we talked about K-drama slumps last week, and I don't think I've had many slumps in the past year, but I think that I was at a point where I really needed a drama that was going to just kind of bowl me over and give me that, you know, K-drama hangover that's going to make me not want to watch anything else for a while. And that's what Itaewon Class did for me. And it's a drama that I will, someday when I have the time for it, I will rewatch it. I loved it that much. And I'm so happy that we ended up doing it for the pod.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
I do want to say, if 2521 didn't flub the ending, that would have been my top drama.
And I hate when that happens, right? Like, when
I'm still so mad about how they ended it, and I understand some people like the ending, and that I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you if you like the ending, because then it probably is one of your top dramas. That drama, it meant so much to me, and I loved it so much. So for it to like end in a way that just felt inconsistent in writing pissed me off. And I think then I just sort of like, blah, like, you know what I mean? I was like almost mad.
Right,
and
you're mad at it.
Yeah, and it makes me sad sometimes to think about how good that drama was, and like how there were so many things about that drama I loved, but it is what it is. I guess I just want to shout it out. It was a great drama. Maybe if I watched it again, I'd like it more knowing the ending. But Sarah and I did cover that drama if you want to listen to the pod on 2521.
Yeah, and I mean, I won't spoil anything either, but I know you told us about the ending and stuff like that, and I feel like I feel like that's something that would change your motivation going into it, because you would know what you were in for rather than expect something else.
Yeah, and again, I don't need a happy ending. I watched All of Us Are Dead was what I consider my favorite drama. That didn't have a happy ending, and so I don't need a happy ending. I need it to make sense. Yeah. All of Us Are Dead. The ending made sense to me. I thought 100%. It actually fit.
That was a baller ending.
Oh my god, it tore my heart out.
So good.
All right, again, I can't talk about that drama again. Oh my god, I'm gonna get into it.
I'm excited for season 2 though.
Me too.
Okay, so we have to go the other way, and I think this is easier for all of us.
Yeah.
So which drama do you regret having given 8 to 20 plus hours of your life?
I'm sorry, my mister. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna piss people off again.
I can't believe you put that in.
I know. Well, you want to know what's funny? Is Megan, I was deciding between those two that you have written.
Are you kidding?
No.
You too?
I'm not kidding. Better. Yep.
Wow.
So,
my mister put me in a state of depression for a week for 2 weeks for like no reason. I just wanted it over with. And I put The Silent Sea as like my other option. But I mean, at least I got Luna in The Silent Sea, and I liked Luna. The little girl. Yeah.
I would say here's why it was a toss up for me between The Silent Sea and my Mister, because I had the same ones, but I put The Silent Sea, which really hurts to do because y'all know that Gong Yu is my one and only. But I put The Silent Sea because of the expectation that I had of it, right? Like, I had been waiting so long for a new Gong Yu drama. The teasers of it, like, drove me crazy. The first episode, we were like, this is going to be some exciting shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then it shit the bed, like, big time. Whereas my Mister, I'm able to say that I appreciate the performances in my Mister, and I thought it was fantastic acting. I just didn't enjoy those hours. I didn't enjoy a single fucking minute.
Oh God. All right. Well, look, just so like people don't come to like murder us, my Mister did not rank in my low end. I'd say it ranks in my top end. So
good. I'm glad for you.
Don't at us.
Love that journey for you.
And I love that journey for you.
Silent Sea, look, I think it was kind of just like not good. However, I got so much enjoyment out of like the things I disliked about it that like it doesn't rank at the bottom. So I'm going with the two that I can't get my life back. Watch it. And that's Cafe Minamdong, which I loathe. And Sound of Magic, which I also
really did hate both of those.
Fucking hated.
Yeah.
And so like
yeah,
both of those, I just remember thinking, I'm only watching this for the pod. I cannot, and I mean like I'm spending like someday I'm gonna be dying. And I'm gonna be like, did I go like see that flower or that ocean wave or like eat that like delicious something? I'll be like, no, I was watching Cafe Minamdong, or I was watching the fucking Sound of Magic.
Actually,
I mean, valid.
You know what I didn't mention? Because we didn't cover it on the pod. I watched it alone. Was Another Miss O. I actually completely struck that entire drama from my mind. Just realized it now. Just remembered that I actually put myself through watching that drama.
Oh my God, you're just picking like the beloved dramas people love and then just dumping on them. I have not seen it. I have not seen it. I will try to watch it and take another one for the team because I won't probably like it.
I won't, because there's too many other things that I want.
I do think Leah might like it.
I'd say, although if Leah likes it and it turns into an Itaewon thing where Megan's like no and Leah's like it is changing my life, then I'm gonna have to try it.
And I will,
just to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I will respect you for it. It's fine. It's fine, but you're not going to change my mind.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird It's been a weird year because I feel like the latter half of the year we've watched a lot of newer dramas, and where I used to always be the one who is struggling to like keep up and get a drama watched by the time we were doing the pod on it, I've been really good at starting dramas like right when they drop lately and only watching
you
2
have.
episodes a week, which I think definitely affects my perspective because having to binge something that I'm definitely not enjoying binging is going to make me hate it. Whereas watching 2 episodes a week is something that like isn't my favorite thing in the world, but it's entertaining me well enough. Like I have a totally different.
I think I would still have hated both of these. I think I would have maybe hated Cafe Minimum less. I would have always hated Sound of Magic.
See, Sound of Magic, I didn't hate watching it. That's the thing. I didn't hate the experience of watching it. I hated what it turned out to be.
So when I finished Silent Sea, I was like, oh my God, this felt like what a missed opportunity. However, it was kind of like unintentionally hilarious.
I know it was.
Sound of Magic didn't feel unintentionally hilarious. I was just like, what the like absolutely not. And then the musical number at the very end.
I was saying the post-credits musical number at the end with like murderers dancing. Like
well, I almost feel like Silent Sea could have been fixed. Like I still feel like that had potential. The Sound of Magic, there was just nothing there. I mean, I don't know what you could have done with that.
The Silent Sea was a really cool concept.
It was a cool concept.
Yeah. And I mean, like, look, they did shit the bed, but hey, we had a giant tiger that was CGI'd. We had the hardest working starfish in show business.
Luna.
I mean, like,
I loved Luna. I did.
We had Luna.
She was.
We had projectile water vomiting. Whatever. I mean, like, look, it's my third probably least favorite, but no, the other two, I think of them now and I get like a sick feeling. Okay, so is there a drama we didn't do for the pod this year that you wish we had? And it could be one you watched on your own or one you want to watch. Because, there's always 2023, right?
Yeah, so Megan and I both put the same thing. I think that's super fun because I think that shows maybe we can lean towards that in 2023. What do we put, Megan?
Yeah, The Alchemy of Souls. Or Alchemy of Souls. I just have heard so much about this. And I want to watch it. That's all there is to it. I've just heard good things. It looks fun.
Plus, it's got the All of Us Are Dead villain as like a total sweetie teddy bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the only other one I could think of is actually a Chinese drama, and it's The Fairy and the Devil. That has Dylan Wang from Meteor Garden.
I love him.
Yeah, we love him. I mean, I've just heard that actually really filtered into the romance community. A lot of people in the romance community really like that. So that's the only other one that I would like to check out.
So I did Our Blues, which nobody wants to watch, but
I do. I do.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
I 100% do
because of Kim Woo Bin.
The whole cast, like it's a great cast.
Yeah, I actually do want to watch it. For real, I do. You remember you talked us into it, and Leah and Amy and I were both like, "Oh my gosh, that does sound really good."
Let's put it on the schedule.
Okay. Yeah, I
Our
think
Blues and Alchemy of Souls.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, I don't know if you want to like smash Our Blues and just be like, I do feel like it worked better being like, I kind of like parsed it out because I mean, there's a lot of great things in it. There's a lot of tough things in it, but I really did enjoy it quite a lot. So I think it's should get more credit than I feel like it's gotten.
So we also watched 4 Korean films for the pod this year: Sobok, Love and Leashes, The Pirate, The Last Royal Treasure, and Parasite. Rank them 1 to 4, with 1 being your favorite and 4 being not.
So Megan, you have shaken me tonight.
I know.
I don't understand. I don't understand your ranking.
I don't know. I just kind of,
because you and I had a fight over this.
I thought we were going to all 3 be the exact same, but we are not.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, say what your ranking is.
So Leah and I both did Parasite number 1, Love and Leashes number 2, Sabak number 3, and Pirates number 4.
Okay, and I switched Pirates and Sobak. So look, I don't know. Look, I still remember. I don't remember anything about Sobak.
I remember
really.
a lot more about Sabak than I do about
I remember
Pirates.
that like ending tank scene. That was kind of cool. But the Pirates had Kang Ha-nul like on the back of a bull. Had those like fighting penguins. Like none of it made sense, and maybe that's why I like watched the whole thing. And I was like, this is freaking crazy. It wasn't good.
I think my mind's blown because I disliked Sobuk so much, and you seem to have liked it better than me.
I did.
But
I
then
did. I feel like all of my rankings. Okay, let me see. I feel like how much I liked Pirates and Sobak are still more than you liked Sobak and Pirates. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like if there's a sliding scale, like I still care more about them than you do. Does that make sense?
I can't
So that's
believe
all.
that you're even. I cannot. I think that I just feel as if I'm worried that COVID has affected your brain, that you're putting Pirates ahead.
It's possible. I will tell you. It is possible.
And I love. I mean, Kang Ha-nul is my K-drama bias, and this
Right.
was still just like a flaming.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. You know what? If you ask me tomorrow, I might change my mind. I don't know if I was feeling.
But I feel
contrary.
like we've been haters. I want to say Parasite's amazing. I mean, it's not.
it's
it didn't
amazing
come out this year, but we watched it this year. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful to watch. It is really interesting. It's got tons of layers. And Love and Leashes was just like a sweet, like it doesn't change your life, but it was fun.
No, but
And
it was
there's
cute.
scenes from that drama, like when he eats the kibble, or hopefully not real kibble, out of her hand. Like I think about that all the time. For whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man.
I liked it. It was cute. But yeah,
I wish it was
outstanding.
Yeah, Parasite was outstanding. Out of all of them, I mean, Love and Leashes isn't even like, I mean, it was like a delicious little chicken nugget versus like, some sort of like gourmet feast.
Yeah.
And Pirates was like a box of Lucky Charms. Just like
I don't even
crazy.
Pirates was like eating mushrooms.
No, you know what it was
going
like?
on a bad trip and wanting
You know
to
what?
stop.
You know what Pirates is like? Because you just watched Elf. Pirates is like the breakfast that Buddy makes with the pasta and the syrup. And
Maybe
the
that's why I was like,
Pop-Tarts
sure,
and, like,
let's do
everything.
it.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
didn't watch this together, but I did watch Soul Vibe, which I'm sorry was not good. Like it was entertaining, but it had like no heart, no good backstory. It was fun to watch, but that's about it. I wouldn't call it like spectacular. Not in the way like, I mean, you come out with something like Parasite. I'm sorry. Nothing's going to compare to that.
No.
All right. So, folks, if you're listening, you're like, okay, you watched 21 dramas and 4 movies, like for the pod. Big deal. That's 25 episodes. So what were your lazy butts doing the rest of the year? Well, what were we doing, Amy?
We were creating more fun K-drama related content because we did 19 creative or research related episodes, which I think were a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So what did we do for those? And we can split these, like somebody take like the first 6. There's 19, so we can do like 6, 6, and 7.
Okay, I'll go first. So this one was a lot of fun. We did a mature hero love letter for Valentine's Day. We did Sisters Before Misters, all about strong female friendships. We talked about our host tastes. We talked about supernatural K-dramas with guest Piper J. Drake. We had a trope edition titled If You Like This, Then Try This. And then we also discussed heat and Asian dramas titled Sweet and Spicy.
And then we did.
also-
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay. So then we did destinations for a K-drama inspired trip, and we all picked a different destination. We did Sell Me on a Drama based on, watching just one episode or a few episodes. We were all like in the middle of different dramas. We did a product placement episode, which was a lot of fun. Tsundere Appreciation, iconic moments in K dramas that live in our minds rent free. That was super fun. And we finally put like our writers' hats on. And this was like a suggestion from a listener. And we did the Korean beat sheet, where we took a very popular screenwriting / novel writing formula, and it's Blake Snyder's 15 Beats, and we applied it to K-dramas.
And then we did Extraordinary Attorney Woo, part 2, which was more of a conversation that we had with 2 autistic K-drama fans, Fran and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really great take on giving them kind of the floor to just talk about what they felt like the drama got right in terms of representation, where it was lacking. And I thought that it was just a really nuanced view on the drama. I learned a lot, and they were really great. They were really great guests, and I would love to have them back as well.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
It was a really great podcast.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they did. Yeah, and all credit to them, really. They did a fantastic job. Then we did Green Flag Heroes. We did I Have Questions. We did Enlistment and like how enlistment works with K-drama actors. We did the Ted Lasso Effect. We did Second Lead SOSs, and we did K-drama Slumps.
That's a lot of fun stuff.
I know.
Yeah, I think so
we did
too.
a lot of fun stuff this year.
The best.
Yeah, as I say, I love watching dramas, but I think these are some of my favorite episodes because we get to be creative, but also kind of, pull dramas into it. And then sometimes we get to research interesting aspects of dramas that make us want to learn more. Like I Have Questions is always super fun. Mm-hmm. And we've done a few of those. There are also great episodes for these are also great episodes for any listeners who might not have watched all the dramas that we cover and don't want to get spoiled, since these episodes usually contain a ton less spoilers. Like sometimes we are referring to dramas and we'll refer to a spoilery moment, but for the most part, you can listen to these and not get a drama ruined for you. So I love them all, but let's do another, top list here. Let's do a top 3 this time to see where our preferences lie as far as what kind of creative episodes we have a lot of fun with.
This was really hard for me to pick. I loved so many of these. So I just kind of picked the ones that I just remember like having a good time talking about. So number 1 is product placement. I freaking love talking about that. That was a really, and we learned a lot. Like it was really, really interesting. And now sometimes when I'm watching K-dramas in the back of my mind, I'm like, are they showing the brand name and how big of the screen does it take up, or how much of the screen does it take up? Things like that. I love talking about Green Flag Heroes. I think listeners really liked that one too. And then I super enjoyed talking about beat sheeting and how it applies to K-dramas. That was a blast.
So for me, I liked the Tsundere Appreciation. I love Tsundere characters. The Extraordinary Attorney Woo conversation has a really special place in my heart from this year. And then I went with the SOSs because I just think that they're really cathartic and fun.
They are.
And I'm always happy to do one. And I'm always loving to like listen to what you all choose too. So I just love the SOSs always.
Cathartic is a great way to describe that. That's awesome. I love it. So I did the Extraordinary Attorney Woo Part 2 episode as well. That was really special, and I'm really happy that I got to be a part of that. I really love doing the mature hero love letter because, for one episode, I got to not feel like a dirty ajumma. That was a lot of fun. And then the Ted Lasso Effect was very fun as well because I think, and for those of you who haven't, listened to that one or who, maybe don't know about Ted Lasso basically is it's a Western TV show on Apple Plus that gave us, the two of us that have watched it so far, Leah and I, it gave us the feeling that K-dramas give us. And we were able to kind of it helped us articulate what makes K-dramas so special to us by kind of dissecting Ted Lasso and how a lot of aspects of that show fit into what we love about K-dramas. But yeah, I mean, I love obviously watching dramas. Like that's what brought this podcast together. But all these different types of ways we've been able to get creative in the realm of K-drama has been super fun. And finally, I'm going to toss everything else we've done under one miscellaneous umbrella. Concert recaps like ATEEZ and BTS, reality shows, In the Soup and Singles Inferno. And I'm going to throw in all of our snacks that we've recorded for the Patreon so that we can shamelessly plug our Patreon here. Because if you join our Patreon, you can get access to bonus content like us talking for a half an hour about coats in K-dramas or dramas that should have been queer. So this is all just to say that we've put a lot of content out this year, and it has been a true joy to do so. But now it's also a true joy to do our K-pop rec of the week. And I'm so excited for what Leah is going to share this week. Leah, what do you have for us?
Did that just come on?
What?
Oh, sorry. I just heard like a weird noise and was confused. Okay. So I have a confession to make, and I am not going to do a K-pop song as my rec of the week. I'm going to do the whole album because it's my time and I couldn't choose, honestly. So I am talking about Indigo. And this is RM, or Kim Namjoon, the leader of BTS, is first official solo record. In the past, he's done these mixtapes, which the company's released kind of free. And one was RM, which came out about 2 years after their debut. And then one was called Mono, which came out in, I think, like 2018. So he kind of self-describes Indigo as being an archive of his 20s. And I would say really kind of like looking at grappling from between like 2019 and 2022. Kind of that like very big rise into like kind of like uber super fandom. And we did a whole kind of like album take on this on our sister pod, which I recommend checking out for Afternoona Army that came out this week. But for me, I have to just say that really quickly, he has been like kind of going through it this year. And I was a little bit nervous when I found out that he was going to be the second, because most of the group is doing solo efforts. We had Jack in the Box, which came out from J-Hope, which was kind of like this experimental, fun concept album this summer. Jin, right before he has going into the military, he came out with Astronaut, which was very like done by Coldplay, like, you know, written with Coldplay and kind of has this like very dreamy feel to it. But RM's been talking a lot about having like a lack of creative vision, voice, not sure what he wants to say, kind of just being like, you know, I'm a bit lost in like, you know, everything, and has been having a lot of love of art. And that's been really like where he's been going. He's been doing a lot of curation on his Instagram of art pieces. He's gone to LA to like, you know, narrate for special exhibits. He's become like one of the most influential art collectors in not only South Korea, but kind of the world a little bit. And so I think that I just wasn't sure where he was going to go with his music. And I should have had a lot more faith, because this album is absolutely incredible. He asks that folks listen to it in order. And I think that that's a must. And I think you also need to listen to it looking at the lyrics as well, because this is a really, like, if you appreciate good writing, his storytelling through this album is stunning. And he does a lot of collabs with everyone from like Erykah Badu to Tableau from Epic High. And I think that's cool too, because I think with BTS, he's obviously always like very much the collaborator, keeping the group together. And so with this album, he really was able to choose folks that have really influenced him in the last couple of years. And I thought that was a really great opportunity. And so just really quickly to kind of just talk about like how he sets this up, and then I'll move on because I could talk about this for like the rest of the night, honestly, is the first song is called Yoon. And it's a collab he does with Erykah Badu. So it's got a really great sound to it. But Yoon is a Korean artist, Yoon Hyung-kyun, who was known for doing these very kind of minimalist, but technically complex paintings. And this is like, you know, Namjoon's kind of like on the record of saying this is like one of his favorite artists. kind of had like their up and coming time going through like the Japanese occupation of South Korea. And so as you're listening to the music kind of start, you hear the artist's voice, and he's lecturing and he's talking about his philosophies of art. And that kind of begins the setup that Namjoon has in the song, where he basically has a conversation with the painter. And he's kind of reflecting on what does it mean to make art? What does it mean to be in the headspace to be creative? And there's like lines in it that are really lovely. Like he talks about like wanting to be human before he makes art. Or he takes a quote that was said by the painting, which is true beauty is true sorrow. And what that means to like see something that's really beautiful, and how that can actually make somebody feel really like sad, even within like the engagement of seeing something that's beautiful. And so that kind of like sets up conceptually like where the album begins. And he kind of just goes from there into deep dives into personal relationships, most likely heartbreak, and like being in love and what that looks like to lose that love. He has a song that's much more kind of like accessibly like not poppy, but pretty catchy, called Lonely, which he wrote apparently when he was in Vegas during the Permission to Dance concert, which is just about him being fucking lonely. He has a song that's called Still Life, which is a reflection of himself, because again, he loves painting. So kind of what it's like for him to be in an exhibition of himself. So like thinking of like what it looks like to look at a still life painting, which is something that was living, but is now kind of like a cut flower or a piece of fruit that's been picked and it's dead, but then it's the still life. And so what does it mean when people look at him and he wants to still be something that's alive and not something that's like dead and static? And so, I mean, it's a really beautiful, interesting album that has great sound. Everything fits together. No song is really skippable. And I think it really just is like a joy to unpack. And you don't have to love K-pop, I think, to enjoy and access the album. Like there's one song, Forgetful, that honestly is like a folk song almost. So I really recommend it. I just think it's a really beautiful song to just take some time and just sit. It's like 35 minutes and just listen to the music and read along kind of with the lyrics and just kind of see the story that he wants to tell about himself, because it's a very human, vulnerable self-expression.
Awesome. I watched.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I watched the Tiny Desk where he does like I think just the first 3 songs, and it was really cool to see him talk about the songs in between. And then of course I'm watching it with subtitles, because he does half in English, half in Korean, and so you get to watch the lyrics with it. And obviously he does Yun, and that was really, really cool. Still Life as well. So what kinds of things do you both like to do when you drive?
Pay attention to the road? Is this a trick question?
All right, how about when you fold laundry?
Why am I folding laundry in this scenario?
Read, friends. I was trying to get you to say read.
You could just ask us if we like to read when we drive, or... Wait, how are you reading when you're driving?
With Audible, our sponsor, who is the leading creator and provider of premium audio storytelling, enriching the lives of millions of listeners every day. I listen to audiobooks on my commute to work in the car.
Oh yeah, I totally do that. I love my Audible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally do that. I love my Audible subscription.
Then why'd you leave me hanging with the whole driving thing? Forget it. It's not important. What is important is that now our listeners can get a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus from Afternoona Delight. Do you know what they get with that free trial?
Actually, I do. They get 1 audiobook credit, 2 if they are Prime members, which is good for any premium selection, and they get to keep that audiobook.
They also get the whole Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, like Afternoona Delight, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals.
And with the Plus catalog, you can listen all you want, no credits needed.
And Audible sends you a reminder email before your trial ends.
Sounds like a great way to spend 30 days to me, especially if you're heading outside for a walk, have a long commute to work, or just want to hear one of many talented narrators really bring your book to life. All you have to do is go to www.audibletrial.com/afternoona to sign up, and you're ready to download your first listen. Enjoy!
If you enjoy our podcast, you have our patrons to thank, at least in part. Afternoona Delight Patreon allows us to keep creating content for y'all to enjoy. Thank you so much to everyone who is supporting us there. And not to brag, but our Patreon community is pretty awesome, and you can join at a tier that feels good to you. Gain access to fun perks like K-drama posts, monthly Patreon-only bonus podcasts, and even a live K-drama support group on Zoom. Because we know firsthand what it's like to have no one to talk to about those crazy plot twists, amazing characters, and all those feelings. And look, no one should have to walk that walk alone. So learn more by visiting afternoonadelight.com. That's www.afternoonadelight.com. And hey, while you're on the website, you can check out Afternoona Delight podcast merch, find links to book recommendations, bop along to our K-pop Recs, glow up your skin with K-merch Recs, find all of our social media, and a link to our email so you can send us recommendations or feedback. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you pop over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review? It really helps with our discoverability. 감사합니다.
So speaking of shamelessly plugging our Patreon, let's talk for a minute about how much our little community has grown in the past year. What's one aspect of this growing community that we're building that has really resonated with you in 2022?
I mean, every day I'm just really grateful for our Patreon members who just want to even discuss stuff with us. I mean, I just love it. I enjoy the Patreon lives every single month. One thing on, I would say a personal note, when I talked about my journey up Mount Washington, and if you did not hear that story, I forget now what podcast it's on, but I told a 20-minute story about how I almost died climbing Mount Washington, and the amount of listeners who reached out about that story and who then responded on Instagram when I posted the extremely flattering photo of me when I summited. Just on a personal note, I really felt supported. It was I felt like there was this and the comments were just so lovely. They weren't just yes, people were that was a funny story, but they were also I'm really proud of you that you did do it. And it just felt really nice. It just felt like I had this big community of best friends who were I did have one poor best friend who actually did have to help me up the mountain physically, but I just mean, all the comments were just, like I said, on a personal note, that was just one thing about the year that I think about a lot. And I want to say thanks for that.
Everybody in our Patreon community and our listening community is virtually helping you up the mountain, Megan.
Yeah. And I just appreciated it.
After the fact.
After the fact, yes. But I mean, in life, the mountain of life.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say, one of my favorite days of the week is the day that a new pod drops, like today, a Wednesday, because I love hopping on Instagram and seeing what people are saying and joining the conversation. It's, when we first started doing this and we first got on social media, we're is anybody going to talk to us about this stuff? And now it's the show drops, I wake up in the morning and I go right to Instagram because I know there's going to be somebody to talk to. And it's super fun. And it's, I feel like we just have all these new friends who, it's the type of community where if you know, but you only know if you watch K-dramas. And nobody else in my life knows.
Yeah, and I think for me, Patreon's been really special because I love that we do the weekend watch where folks say what they're watching that week, and I love to see all the different things people are watching, and I love to see people get excited and nerd out on the same stuff I'm getting excited and nerding out on. I really love doing the monthly lives with the Patreon because it feels, I love all interaction we get back, but it's really interesting to see faces and be like, oh my gosh, real people, like real people listen to us. And so that's really fun. And I feel like, it's nice to seem as if we are becoming friendly. Because, people give me, people give me shit now. Like when I said my favorite color was brown, and like people took me to task for that, like all over Patreon. And I really loved it because it felt like, being friends, and friends give each other shit. And so it was great.
I love that discussion.
I
that
hope
was
you
so
get
funny.
more shit now from all of our listeners for your
They gave you
favorite
so much
color.
shit.
Yes. Okay, look, my favorite color is brown. I didn't know that was a controversial choice until it was like a throwaway question on we did something on Patreon that was like all about us or whatever. And I didn't even think about it. And I came back and there was big feelings that I had said that was my favorite color. And so there we go. So if you have a big feeling about it, you can tell me. And if you think I'm right, then thank you. And you can also comfortable, warm, cozy, earthy, healing brown with me.
And you don't have to be part of the Patreon to give her shit because, you can do it on Instagram. It's fine.
All right. Well, speaking of dramas in general, what is one thing in your 2022 drama watching journey that's just really stuck with you this year? Did you discover a new actor or actress, maybe a new genre that you thought you hated but somehow now love? Or did you reaffirm the love you already had for an actor or actress after seeing them in something new?
You know what? I wrote something down, but I'm now that I read the question again, I'm changing it. You know what? I fell back in love with Ji Chang-wook this year. And I was concerned, okay, because, the year started off with The Sound of Magic, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do with my Wookiee, because I love him, but The Sound of Magic was just not it. And then I decided to watch If You Wish Upon Me, despite thinking the premise sounded hokey as hell and not being into it. Ended up loving If You Wish Upon Me. I mean, it probably is one of my top dramas that I watched this year. I freaking loved it. Even though it was crazy, it made me cry every episode. There was a gang fight in a hospice. I don't care. I loved it, and I fell back in love with Ji Chang-wook. And that was a highlight of the year for me.
That drama made me cry more than any other drama this year.
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Which was very surprising.
More than Tomorrow. I think Tomorrow was the other drama
Tomorrow,
that
and I cried a lot in Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, All of Us Are Dead made me cry too. Well, that was hard. That's hard.
Wait, was Happiness this year?
No.
Okay.
The very
Really?
end of, yeah.
I went through our schedule.
Okay.
Happiness was the end of 2021.
Wow.
I'm almost positive it aired in December.
Wow. Okay. So for me, I decided I liked zombies.
You guys, I missed Happiness. Shit.
Oh, it's okay.
I just Googled it. I mean, I just did a control F and it's on the list and I totally missed it.
It's
okay. Then that's okay. I think we leave it here to own the mea culpa that is Happiness.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pop in and say,
we did do Happiness this year and we loved it. So
okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Cause I was trying to I didn't even think of it until now.
Yeah.
When I got to what it was, which is after seeing Happiness and then All of Us Are Dead, I've decided that I have been an asshole about zombies. And I really do enjoy zombie movies. I think I'll probably it's not always gonna be a slam dunk for me, but I like zombie movies now. Whereas, if anyone recalls when we did Train to Busan, I was not into it. I was I take it back. I like zombies now.
I mean, all I will say is that I was nervous. I was nervous for you to watch All of Us Are Dead because I was really terrified you were going to think it was stupid.
No,
I thought Amy would like it.
No, Megan, I think that I have realized that the psychological journey of the zombie movies are really interesting. And I think that I also forced proximity and things like that, which is what Happiness and so it just
those are all what I like about zombie movies. Yeah.
and it's great to see when like the monsters of like humanity can be like worse than the monsters like running around. So yeah, I like it.
100%.
I was like the little dude in Green Eggs and Ham, and now I like them. Same, I am.
I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad.
Oh,
because happiness was also I mean, I loved it. I didn't like it as much as All of Us Are Dead, but I loved it.
So
they were great zombie movies.
My sincerest apologies to Han Hyo-joo and Park Hyung-sik, because we love them. We love this drama. We watched it in January of 2022. And I just, missed it going through our spreadsheet. So we did 22 dramas this year. Someone's going to find another one that we missed that maybe I didn't see there. I did my best. Okay. I did my best, everybody. I did my best.
It's okay.
Going through the spreadsheet.
All we can do is our best.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say, as far as, some actors that stuck out to me, for this year. I mean, I knew that I loved Kang Tae-oh in Run On. He's the only thing I really liked about Run On. Sorry for those of you that love Run On. I'm not yucking your yum. It was just too quiet for me. So we talked about this in our Extraordinary Attorney Woo podcast, that even though Junho's character was kind of done dirty by the writing and not really getting a backstory or anything really much outside of The Office, that Kang Tae-oh and his performance is just one of the most charming things I've ever seen. And I just want to watch everything that he's in. And, yeah, so he was one big standout for me. And Rowoon, my God.
I agree with that. He definitely was a standout.
Yes. Yeah. And Park Eun-bin, which I know, Leah, like Rowoon and Park Eun-bin together. What's the drama they're in? I'm blanking now. What's the historical?
The King's Affection.
The King's Affection. Thank you.
Oh, we didn't mention that this year too.
Is that not on the list? God damn.
You did that with Sarah, didn't you?
It's not on the spreadsheet. So how did that happen? Oh, you just went off and did it.
Oh, I might have just gone rogue. I love that too. Shit. It was great. Fantastic. Everyone should watch The King's Affection. It's amazing.
Okay, that one's not my fault. That wasn't on the So yeah, so Rowoon, Park Eun-bin, Kang Tae-oh, reaffirming my love for him. I just keep, discovering new people that I really, really enjoy. And that's what I love about this. And discovering or rediscovering, I don't know, that Sung Dong-il is in every other drama that I watch. I don't know where that man sleeps. It must be in
the ambulance. In the ambulance. That is where he's sleeping. In an ambulance outside every drama set.
He just drives. That's actually his ambulance. He just drives it from set to set.
Yeah. And they were like, you know what? We don't have the budget for If You Wish Upon Me to give him a room. Just let him sleep in his ambulance.
There was a lot. We did a lot this year. We did more dramas than we thought we did. We have a spreadsheet. We don't have everything on the spreadsheet all the time, but yeah, it was a big year, and I'm so excited for 2023.
I know.
So, where are we? Final thoughts. Can you believe that we were just three friends on a daily text chain that couldn't shut up about K-dramas, and now we've been doing this for 2 years and have over 100,000 downloads?
Yay! I mean, no, I really can't believe it.
Yeah, and the fact that we have only not gone live 1 week, and that was a conscious choice. It wasn't because we hadn't had content. We decided that, out of respect for, the period of mourning following the Itaewon disaster, that we wouldn't put our pod out. And so every other, so I just feel like, yeah, we've showed up for this pod, even with COVID, which I don't want to normalize. Actually, look,
we both did that. Megan and I have both done the pod with COVID now.
Mm-hmm. But you've chose, because the other thing is I don't want to make it sound, because as I'm saying it, I'm like,
we're not allowed to take off for COVID.
No, we act I want to be here.
Corpse here. No, you really, Megan, I was actually please don't. And you're like, no, I am. I want to be there.
Yeah, I was like, I missed you guys. I wanted to.
Because it had been 2 weeks. We hadn't.
I was like, I need to talk about K-dramas.
Right. So, I mean, this is, yeah, it's just become a very nice touchstone in my life that I feel as if, yeah, I just want to show up for.
Same. Yeah.
And it's for the three, like it's for us. And now I feel like it is, I mean, it blows my mind even when people rate us in our, you know, the Spotify end of the year, and I'm not trying to like toot our own horn, like, oh, we're so awesome or anything, but it was so wonderful to get these things where people were like, oh, you were in our top podcast, or people who are like, I've listened to like most of your shows, or you keep me company when you're driving. And if like you're listening to us say this, like that really matters.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Like, it's really cool.
Thank you.
I like it. We actually, you know what? We had somebody write us this week, and I liked it. Somebody wrote, and with Little Women, they were like, you know what? Like, you were kind of saying that Little Women didn't really align closely with the plot of the book, but you also kind of like left out some other key things, which we did, because like we didn't even talk about how the aunt was like Aunt March, you know, from the book.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, look. And then she was like, look, I'm really sorry because like I listened to you all and I like you all. So sorry that like I'm reaching out to kind of be like wagging the finger. And I was like, no, fair
do
point.
it.
So
yeah.
If you're listening to us and you're like, actually,
you can
like,
actually us. Yeah.
I like it because I mean, look, we actually each other all the time. So if somebody feels comfortable enough to like jump in and like say that or add something, I think, you know, it's really fun because it means that it's fun to like give a crap about our entertainment and what we're watching and thinking. And so it's fun that like when you want to like join in and like say something too.
I was going to say, like, the whole point of the podcast is that this isn't meant to be just a conversation between the three of us. It's a conversation between all of you out there who are listening. Yeah, and we love when you join in.
Yeah, and the amount of people that disagreed with me about my mystery. And I welcome
rightly
that.
So. Rightly so.
And I welcome that because I'm only one voice, and I don't want to like I really do try to be careful on this podcast when I don't like something that I say like specifically why it didn't work for me, because I don't want people to think that they can't like it because you can. Like I hope you did. Yeah, I feel really strongly about that. I want you to have dialogue back with us.
And I also want to say something to you, Megan, too, because it's really stuck with me this year. And it goes back to our Sobuk conversation where we did Sobuk for the Patreon, because we do a bonus pod every month for Patreon. So another shameless plug there. But I remember I watched it and I finished it and was like, I didn't like it. It was dumb.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And Megan and I had a whole conversation about it because it was like, well, I did like it, like at the time, and I had to do, some reflect. I mean, it also made me realize, like, you know, I'm very comfortable with the two of you. I talk to you probably more like I would my family, which is like not always polite. But it was really good to just like then force me to unpack. Like, I have to be intellectually rigorous when I'm not liking something. If I'm just like, it's dumb, then it's like very diminishing for like a person who does like it. And it just kind of like cheapens the experience as well. So, I mean, I'm happy if anyone ever wants to pull up a chair and hear why I didn't like Cafe Minimdong or Sound of Magic. I am happy to like give you my TED Talk, but like not right now.
Yeah, I mean, same. I don't want to just be like, you know, I didn't want to be minimizing about my mystery either. And I, you know, so obviously disagree with us. We don't mind. I actually did just read a comment that was like, I wish you put out more than one episode a week.
I know.
I think I'm like already done with all your content because I listen when I drive. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
You know what? Someday, folks, when More Than Audible is giving us a little kickback on free trials, we would love to put out more content. We just need to lessen the other content in our lives that pay our mortgages and stuff like that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
But I would love to. I would do this every day if we could. If this was my job, just talking about K-dramas, I'm all here for it.
Yeah,
all here for it. And just reiterating what you both are saying, like, we're all authors. We all write books. None of us write books that every single human is going to want to read and is going to enjoy. And so we get it that like what I love might not be what you love. And even within the three of us, you've heard us all have very, different opinions about drama sometimes, where maybe one of us loves something and the other two didn't. And that's okay. Like we're not here to die on the hill of I love this drama so everybody else should too, or I didn't love this drama so nobody else should.
Correct.
We're just talking. We're just talking about how it works or doesn't work for us.
Yeah, and we're really not we're not experts. Look, we're just writers who love to talk about K-dramas. That's really it. But it was a great year, and it's going to be a great next year. The dramas that are already on the slate next year sound pretty great. So I'm excited to watch more live K-dramas next year. I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to watch dramas as they go live next year, and I think that's one of my goals.
Oh, that's a big change for you.
Yeah,
it is, because I was a big binger, but I feel like that's going to work a little bit better with my lifestyle right now. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
All right. Well, here is to a wonderful 2023.
So thank you, everybody, for listening for another year. We can't wait to see what 2023 brings with K-dramas and everything else. So thanks for listening.
Annyeong.
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 Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoona Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!